Good morning, y'all. Good morning, and welcome back to Alicia's Crafty Hoplop. I hope you're all doing well this morning. It is bright and early here. The sun is not yet up, and it is unseasonably cold, hence the sweatshirt. I am on with a video that I really have wanted to share with you for a few days now. We talked about crafty aspirations, and some of my goals for this year is about buying better, buying smarter. And part of that is about making an investment in quality products and also playing more and trying out different things. And so I thought I would share with you today a few of the things I've been working on and some of the things I've been exploring in terms of product and in terms of like what I'm using it for and what they look like and what you can do with them. So for instance, this is an embellishment base. And even on my camera, you can see how beautiful that texture is, right? The hexagon texture that you're seeing was actually created by what they call a light and fluffy texture paste. When I was first playing with texture paste like 2 years ago, I didn't really understand the differences between, like a heavy texture paste or a mold paste, a light mold paste. Today, I know that they have different purposes and they end up having different effects. They also dry differently. So for this one, I actually used a texture paste I didn't love. I have it handy here. Let me just grab it. When I first bought this texture paste, I wasn't very happy with it because the project I wanted it for, I wanted a heavy mold paste and I didn't know there was a difference. This one, which is made by Deco Art, is a paintable surface, but it's fluffy, it's creamier. And I was a little frustrated when I first had it because I didn't understand how to use it properly. Today, I know how to use it properly, and you can see the amazing effect that it gives any piece. These are going to be embellishment bases with dangles hanging from them. Now, but all of this? Well, you can see this is 3 layers of paper built up. It's 110 cardstock, and that's designer paper on the outside, and you can see that that's actually Bow Bunny. And this is all watercolored, hand-done watercolor. And it's watercolor gouache. I just sort of built it up slowly and did all the shading. Then I did some stamping. I'm not done yet, but this is just the base itself. And there's the hole for the eyelet. That's one version. I have a friend who likes splatter. I have a couple of friends that like splatter. And so on this one, I did it in more pastels, but still a little grungy with the paint splatter. And then I went over that with a stamp using Memento ink. And again, it's going to have a little dangle. Then I had a lot of fun with these where I actually started coloring in flowers and shading. And that was me, being more exploratory with it and saying, okay, I'm going to take my watercoloring skills to the next level. And so I started shading and highlighting, and then I went back and I did like extra stamping. Then I started to experiment with some of my sprays. Notice almost none of these have shimmer, except for this one has a very, very mild shimmer. And that's just because on these I wanted them to be matte. So that's like one of the things I've been experimenting with are the watercolor and the different kinds of texture paste and how they affect both the style of what you're making, the look of the finished product, and also like how you apply it. So that's something that we're going to be looking at this year. One of the other things that I've been investing in lately is what they call glitter paste or paper glaze. And I have a whole slew of them now, different ones by different companies, and we're going to test them out and see what we think. They're great for use with stencils. You can actually use them in many different ways, not just for stencils. And we're going to explore all those different ways. And the same thing can be said for embossing powder, y'all. Truly. And again, I have a whole bunch from all different companies. I've got Ranger. I've got the Distress ones, which are amazing. They're amazing. From Tim Holtz. I have Wow. I have one Lindy's, but I have some more coming. And we'll play with those too. And initially when I was using embossing powder, I was really using it mostly for stamping words, actually, just to make them glitter and pop, because I like that better than I like stickles. But now there's just so many more uses for embossing powder. So we're going to be exploring that too. If you remember in the Holy Land, I loved iridescent medium because you don't have to buy iridescent paint. You can just mix it into your existing acrylics. So I always keep it on hand. This is a Winsor & Newton, which is a little bit pricey. You can get a less expensive one. There are many different brands. Liquitex has one. Golden has one. You don't have to go with something that's this expensive. This just happened to be available when I was purchasing it. It was a decent price, actually, so I got it. The other thing I've been investing more in are the waxes. So this is the Prima Finnabair Art Alchemy. And you also know I have the mousse that I've bought, which is interesting. And I didn't like it at first, but now I like it for large projects. That's something I want to play with more, and I want us to experiment with more and see how they work. And I want to try different ones. Like the ones Susan's been using are just so interesting to me. And they have a really nice luster to them, and I'm curious. You're going to ask me, like, so when I apply this particular texture paste, I don't use my metal palette. Sorry about that. I always drop things, y'all. You know that. I actually use a plastic one for the light, but I do for my heavy gel mediums and my heavier pastes and molds, I do use a metal palette knife, just like if I'm doing acrylic scraping. Like if I were going to build this up using acrylics, I would have used this palette knife versus the plastic one, which, by the way, you can get, scrapbook.com. You can get it at the Dollar Tree. There's so many places you can get this. I prefer with the lighter one to use the plastic one. Just a little tip. I'm going to be playing around with my stencils. Last year I used a lot. Look how messy this is, y'all. This is the Golden Gessos and Grounds, which gives your gesso like a grainy finish, which I really like on some projects. But it's kind of pricier, and so I was using it all the time. This year I bought a big old tub from Jerry's. Jerry's is an art store, and y'all know that my university is affiliated with, not affiliated, but we get a discount. And so I got a huge tub of the matte and the gloss, 16 ounces. So this is a big old tub, but it's regular gesso. It's not. This is the heavy. Oh, this is the heavy gel medium. I also have the big tub. Let me show you. It's like a huge. It's a huge tub, y'all. Yeah, because I use a lot of gesso. So, but gesso also, you can add acrylic paint to. You can get it in black. Finnabair makes a really interesting one in black. So does Golden. So that can make it easier if you're doing mixed media projects. That's something that we'll look at. The new thing that I've yet to test out, and I'm super excited, are these new art crayons. And I'm so excited about this because you can use them like right on a project. You can add water. They're like paint. They become like paint. They're really versatile, and they're meant for mixed media. So I'm excited. Who made this one? I'm just trying to take a look. Marabou made this one, but I'm super excited to give these a try. And I really like my Liquitex Black Lava Paste. There's a similar one from Little Birdie, and y'all know I had that in New York, and it was not so expensive, but I really like the Liquitex one. And I use it quite a bit, especially around Halloween. I use it for Halloween projects. So that's what I mean by buying better. I was telling you, like, I had too much stuff from the Dollar Tree, and it's not like I won't use it all, but these are products like I'm going to use like each and every day. And I'm finding like, I had koi watercolors, and they're very good quality, and a lot of my students really like them. But for this type of stuff that I wanted to do, I think the koi wasn't working for me in the same way. And for me, watercolor, I have yet to find a watercolor marker that works for me the same way that regular paint does. Now, it doesn't mean there isn't one that exists. I'd love to try it a bunch and see, which ones do I like. I just haven't found one yet. And so for me, like a regular pan of watercolors is really important. And it's so much fun to play with, y'all. These are so much fun to make. They do take a while, but look at that texture. It's going to be amazing when these are built into embellishments. I'm really excited. All right, so let me show you some of what I've been working on. It's like a whole mix of things. So clearly those embellishment bases. I also made this really fun, fabulous angel pocket that I'm going to be sending to somebody. Really like how it turned out. This is so fussy, this die, but I'm still happy with how this turned out. Super, super fun. Lots of gold and pink, lots of glitz, lots of eyelash, because that's perfect for this person. So yeah, I made some more pockets. It's gonna surprise y'all. I've got some sweet story projects coming out. I know. It may not have been my favorite collection, but I have lots of friends that love it. And I've also been making these, like, well, you can see these dangles with resin and charms, and I fussy cut out the houses and turn them into dangles, y'all. And look at those cute little eyelets. There's a little heart eyelet and all the little pieces. I know, I've mastered the dangle. And that's that Sussex flower done in Sweet Story. And I actually, it's so interesting, isn't it? Because I showed you all the Sussex flower done in holographic bright paper that I sent out for the holidays. But look at it in Sweet Story. It's actually very elegant and subdued. I really like how that turned out. That's a Maggie Holmes Crate Paper Vault collection. It's one of my favorite sheets, actually, from it. I cut into a ticket with the Maggie strip and then the Sweet Story flowers. Really, really cute. So a whole bunch of new things on the go, and that's super exciting. I'm excited to show you these products and how I'm using them. And I think I agree with Susan Tootsie Tucker. Like, I want to be able to show you them as opposed to just telling you about them. So we're going to be looking at them per project and seeing what you think of them. I just thought I'd give you a brief introduction to the new products we're going to be testing out and seeing how they work. And yeah, share a couple of the projects with you. I am wishing for you a happy and a healthy day, a creative day, an inspired day, and I will see you all later on today. Bye for now.